Happy New Year, everyone, and here is the Gold Trust. We featured our shorts back on the shorting this tops up in here, but really, this was the long-term weekly support level that we broke. We are now 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks below the blue line, the 10-week moving average, and it's declining. One more week, closing below that 10-week, will meet the SMF bear trend qualifier. And what is that qualifier for MMTs? It's the following right here. I'll blow this chart up. We said everybody was all in. Gold is down another $32 an ounce. Now let me tell you something. The reason why this GLD was going to come down to start with, as we had featured, was that there's a big hedge fund guy out there that had to liquidate. He has about 22 million shares of this GLD, by the way. Of course, a lot of people didn't know where that parts of that liquidation was going to come from. We did. And when we featured that short up here, you have a wonderful trade working. Here are the put options. Here where that rally, relief rally trend was to that weekly reversal right here, you could participate by using these put options on the GLD. This was that January trade. They don't move a lot, but we can tell you that they do move some. So the 175 put has finally made a move. These contracts don't move much, just so people know. But they're still 100% gain. They were deflated over here. And the deflated price is where we buy, because that was the most deflated price on a weekly that we could get our hands on. And 845 is the close back on that. And that was on 11/6, November 6th. Remember it well. They were high up here at one time at $23, but that was back in September. But we knew that down here was a deflated price relative to the highs. They came up and they brought them right back down here to 820. And then from this area of 850, you've had well over 100% gain. Back to highs of 2131, but still not above the high of the 2340. That's the January 175 put. Now, when you look at the GLD, once again, we just want to tell you that this GLD, if you've been holding it for a long time, there's a time to cash in on highs, and there are other times of using put options to manage your downside risk. You're at that 50-week moving average, and the GLD is selling below it. Now, let us not forget that there are a lot of hedge fund managers that were in this trade, and they're going to have to liquidate. You're going to see more of this liquidation here, as we have highlighted as part of our 2011 gold highlight, GLD. The gold would have to come down. And that gold would drop in value. People have to sell gold because, guess what? Called collateral liquidation model around the world. And gold has been such a great winner for most. But a lot of people buy up here at the high. Now we're coming down to a support level here where originally the breakout happened right here in this chart to that high, and that was above that 10-week moving average. Now this is what you call, when you close 4 weeks above the blue line, the 10-week, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's considered an SMF bull trend. However, bull trends end when they get back below it, but the moving average, the 10-week moving average, is going downward through here. And when you break below it and you get back above it, one more week and we can say officially the GLD has entered into a bear trend. and it will be one more week. Until you close back above that 10-week, you don't have a bull trend. Anything into resistance into the GLD on upside volatility should be sold and sold short accordingly. Once again, we highlighted the second area of where that counter rally that we had, that 4-week counter rally, that bottom week, 2, 3, 4, but that was it. And that's when we started talking about it. And the gold bugs, well, the old saying is, the long-term rally has been wonderful. It's been a great ride, but now it's a different kind of a ride for us. And that was getting that wholesale short. From this 2010 area, I can say honestly that you're barely breaking the long-term trend. That diagonal line, and let me show it more carefully. I'm going to clear the trend lines on the chart, and I'm going to go back over here where the bottom base was put in, where we were big buyers on it back in 2010. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this diagonal trend line right here perfectly. Why did I do it? Because that's where the uptrend started. This line is very, 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 very long. It's over a year. Goes back to 2010. But let me tell you, I didn't quite get it stretched all the way. But you can see the belly of that 2011 that's making that high to that reversal to its first area of support, where it starts with that gap down like we said. Now, this is where our short started, right up here. The thing that I'm going to tell you, I put a little extension line on here and just kind of come through here. That's that long, 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 long multi-month trend line. Now, having said that, you can see that part of it, and you're going to get below there. This 151 neckline is going to come across right here. This is that support level. That's where you got above that 10-week moving average. And when the 10-week moving average goes up this way, of course, you want to be long. That's called a bull rally trend. But when you get up here on that 10-week and you got that big sell, and that 10-week started to tilt right here, when that turned, that told us that the upside rally up here was a sell short, because the 10-week had turned down below the 20-week, and you could not. And that's where that initiation started. Would we get more aggressive on it? You got a support level down here. But when they come back in 2012, liquidation processes will hit across the board. Whether it's gold, whether it's other metals, it doesn't matter. It's coming. It's going to happen. That means that people have to raise capital cash requirements and broker dealers and everywhere around the world. Doesn't matter. It's a different day and a different subject. But we can tell you that people have been selling, and there's another big seller out there. And when he has to start selling more of it, you're going to come down here. And the bottom of the breakout base is going to remain right here. This is where that 20-week started to rise. And this is it right here. So I'm going to draw that X right there. That's your support level. You're coming to it right now. That's that rally high up in here in those reversals. But when you get back over here, you can tell that from that trend line to where that volatility rally was, that you gap below it. And we've been going lower ever since. Gold bug selling.